Yo, what is going on, you bucktooth B-barrels? Today we're playing some Zoroark Lucario. Of course, Lycanroc's in there as well, but no one really cares about him. It's about the Lucario. That's why we play this build of Zoroark. We want that Lucario to be able to deal with big fighting weak HP Pokemon, the Pikarams, the Zoroarks, anyone else who's weak to fighting that also has a lot of HP Pokemon. Today we're going to be trying it a little bit different than you might have seen. You might have been playing around with yourselves as well. We got Brooklet Hills in here instead of the Viridian Forests. This list is inspired by Brent Tonnison's second place Perth Regionals list, where he had the Brooklet Hills instead of the Viridian Forest. So there's a couple cards different from this, from that as well, but this is the list I've been rocking with it. The Zoroark Lucario with the Brooklet Hills. Not too big of a change up from the list from Collinsville, just a little bit different. Just a second Cynthia over the Oranguru, and then Brooklet's over Viridian, really. But I wanted to give the Brooklets a shot because I think they could definitely be more valuable than the Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest is good, but if you never set up your basic Pokemon initially, Viridian Forest kind of doesn't do anything anyways. Having a lot of energy but no basic Pokemon is not going to win you games. So let's go ahead and get into some games. Open up with these. I'll go ahead and open Zorua. I was like thinking about it for a second. Wasn't sure, but yeah, I think Zorua's the way to go. Opponent Mulligan. We're going to take a look. Lightning deck for sure. Kind of lightning deck. Unsure. There's Escape Rope, so it usually says Zapdos, but yeah, we don't know for sure. That could be Zapdos, could be Baptos. Field Blower, not going to do much against anything. There's a Jirachi. I'm going to go ahead and bench a Riolu. Doesn't hurt too much to have one Riolu in play. And then, unfortunately, Lily with no ball cards in hand. Okay, there they all are. I was wondering, I was like, you know what, where are those ball cards at there? Get the Grimer. Muck is here as well. We have the Ditto and the Muck. Let's go and pass over to our opponent. All right. Looking like we have that God start against the Zapdos deck, which is just some Zoroarks with a turn 2 Muck. That's the ideal start. That's all you really need. Don't really need much else against the Zapdos deck. That's all you need. All you need is Muck and Zoroarks. That's what you should all you should try and play into is Muck and Zoroarks, and then you just kind of go from there. Nothing else really matters. You might set up a Lycanroc or a Lucario at some point throughout the game just because they become the most optimal attacker for the coming turns, but you don't really need them ever. You just need Muck and Zoroark. So Muck and Zoroark, the end of time. There's a Volkner from our opponent, sure. Escape Rope and a Lightning, and that's fine with me. We'll just feed them the Riolu. The Riolu, like I said, kind of irrelevant. Unless it turns out to be a not so straightforward just Zapdos deck, which is possible, in which case we would be punished for, what the heck? Who the heck plays Potown, man? I wonder if that's ever actually better than Shrine. I don't think so, though. Thunderous Assault. Okay, they not playing the Escape Rope. Just get the clean knockout there. That's fine with me. Send up Zorua, and then we have Ultra Ball to get Lele. Yeah, so Ultra Ball away these two for Lele. For Lily, evolve Zoroark. And then try and find that Muck, that Schmuck, and then kind of take over the game from there. There's that 30 damage. Oh, that's right. It's 30 damage. For some reason, I thought it was 20. I was like, 20 damage? Is that really worth it? But it is 30 damage. That is a little bit of a game changer. Okay. Communication and get rid of the Lucario. Unfortunately, we will not be attacking this turn. We'll check here. Stretcher is in the deck. So we're going to put the Muck on the Ditto, I think. Yeah. Unfortunately, we do take that 30 damage from the Potown. It's actually not even that bad, though. We're going to hold the fighting, I think. Yeah, and then pass. We might want to put it on our active, potentially, because we still have counter gain in the deck, which means we could be attacking next turn with fighting counter gain. So we got the Muck set up. That's the important part. Now we just kind of chill until we can eventually find an energy. Not finding an energy is kind of annoying, but what you gonna do? You can't have it all. There's an escape rope from our opponent. Definitely gonna feed him the Riolu. Not even close. Not even a close choice there. It's always Riolu. Maybe could have sent up the Lele, but not worth it. There's a Guzma from our opponent, gonna be on the Muck. There's an E-Power. Alright, so the Muck is already being knocked out here from our opponent. And we're looking for our Stretcher now. So nice response from our opponent immediately to knock out our Muck. Fortunately for us. Here's a draw. There's a Brooklet Hill. Definitely gonna put that in play right now and go get a fighting Pokemon. Probably a Rockruff, yep. Alright. Now we got some trades to do. Trade away Ultra Ball. Really just want a DCE here. I'd be fine with whiffing the Stretcher. Ideally would get both DCE and Stretcher. There's the counter gain like I talked about. And we're going to trade away this Lily. Guzma and Zoroark are still pretty good to have around. Not Stretcher, but we will at least attack this turn through the counter gain. Nothing really to Palpad for, and Riot is beating for the knockout. Alright, now we're on the hunt for that Stretcher. Our opponent has regained access to their abilities. We don't like that, so we definitely want to start removing those again. The Brooklet Hill actually worked out pretty good here to get a basic Pokemon. As you can see with the rest of the hand, we're not able to have anything that actually could find a basic Pokemon. So Brooklet Hill getting a Rockruff was actually pretty important there. Otherwise, we would not have been able to knock out that Zapdos, which would have been a little bit annoying. There we go. They use the Brooklet Hill themselves, and then here comes the Stellar Wish from our opponent. Shifts are going to get good off it. There's a Lily for, I mean, potentially 6. I don't know what's in their hand, but I would assume not a whole ton. Replacement Stadium of their own. And then we'll see where the game goes from here. Potown is a little bit annoying, but easy replacement with the Brooklet Hill. No problem. Oh, there's a sad face. Maybe just a Lily for 1. But, I mean, that's what you get for playing Potown. Oh, there's a Coco GX. Seems like they are really got a clogged up hand here for this Lily. You almost never see someone bench the Coco GX. It's going to be a Lily for 2 after benching Coco GX. So, pretty terrible follow-up here from our opponent. But you know what they say. Run Potown, get clunky hands. So, this is where we are. Best ball. I would assume this is going to be to grab a Zapdos. Whether or not they have Lightning Energy will remain to be seen. There's the Zapdos. Do they have a Lightning Energy? The answer is... better next time. Another escape rope. Alright, bud. It'd be nice to ace a roll this off the board, so I think we're gonna set up the Lele and then just ace a roll it after he punches it with a Zapdos. The chance of him having E-Power, Choice Band Lightning is super low, so we're not gonna play around that. We're assuming he's just gonna be hitting us for 80. There's the attach, and here comes the hit for 80. I would assume. Find out shortly. Yes, Thunderous Assault for 80. Alright, back over to me. We have the ace roller for the Lele, so really all we're looking for here is that I'm actually gonna trade away the Lele here. I guess we could Palpad. Oh no, we can't Palpad for Mallow. We could play the Mallow. I kind of like that, right? If it's in the deck. I actually don't know if it's in the deck. We're gonna find out. There it is, and we can Mallow for the Stretcher for 1 and something else. Probably trade away the Zorua here. But I ever want to Stretcher for 3. Oh no, I just played Acerola. I can't Mallow if I Acerola. Oops. A little bit lost there. Don't mind me. We're gonna go ahead and trade away the Zorua here. Hey, we get the Stretcher anyways. Alright, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was lost on that one. Go ahead and get this Muck back. Gonna go ahead and attach the Fighting Energy to the Rockruff. Oh, I could have put the Stadium Play, made it take 30 less. I don't know if that was worth it actually though. Chance of them having, yeah, they're not gonna have Guzma, Lightning, Zapdos, E-Power on this turn. I'm not afraid of that. Yeah, I'm actually fine with just letting the Muck take 30 there. Save the Brooklet Hill bump, because who knows how many Potown they actually play. Save the Brooklet Hill bump for when I evolve my Rockruff or my Lucario. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That is A-okay with me. So we have one Acerola left in the deck. I actually don't know if it's in the deck. I didn't check when I took a look. They're going with a Volkner here. Not very good. I think we will Acerola or Palpad, Acerola, and Guzma back into the deck on this turn before we start trading. Even if there is an Acerola in the deck, I would rather increase my chances of finding Acerola this turn. I assume we're going to be punched by a Zapdos here with this Volkner. At the very least, Nest Ball Lightning would probably come out of this Volkner. We'll see. Yep, Nest Ball Lightning. Hey, there it is. So we're going to get punched for 80. That's fine. And then, yeah, just ideally find an Acerola, pick this thing up, and send up a new Zoroark, bench a Zorua, knock out, and repeat. We'll see. Here it comes. Thunderous Assault. 80 damage. 80 damage? No, yes, maybe. Something. E-Power, okay. Interesting E-Power use. I don't think that makes a ton of sense here at all. It's fine though. Get these two, and the trading commences. Trade away Ultra Ball. Likely we find a Pokemon to communication away if we want to, and now we're just gonna trade away the communication anyways. Okay, it has to be the DC to the active, or we could go DC Guzma, knock out the Jirachi. I think we're just gonna go DC active, knock out the Zapdos. They struggled to get out a Pokemon last turn. They're probably gonna struggle this turn, and then I think I'll play the Cynthia. There's no what's it called currently in hand. Acerolas, so let's go try and find some. Nothing huge happening. Could blow away this, make it harder for our opponent to attack as well. We also get to get rid of the Potow, which is cool. Not a huge game changer, I guess, but it's fine. And then Riot is beating for the knockout. Bada bing. Another Zoroark. Doesn't really do a whole ton, but it does give us a communication target, which could be pretty valuable depending on how these next couple turns play out. With the Jirachi send up. The Coco could be hard to deal with if they start to set it up now, and then it gets into a place. Yeah, the Coco could actually be hard to deal with. They can still, like, even though we have Muck in play, meaning they cannot use Coco Prism, they can actually still just set it up, attach, then Thunder Mountain. There's an E-Power coming down, so I think our opponent's hand is just dead. As they switch into the Coco, yeah. So the Muck doing its work, they lost. I don't know how many Stellar Wishes they lost throughout the course of this game, but it's been quite a few. And that's why you play the Grimer, the thick Muck line in this deck. You got to be able to use it multiple times in this matchup. Most of the time, it's pretty easy for them to get like a turn 1 Guzma on. Pretty easy for them to get a turn 1 Guzma on the Ditto. So the Ditto by itself isn't quite enough. And you need to play that Grimer as we're utilizing it here in this game. But once you set it up, and as long as you keep swinging, Super Scoop Up, get that out of here. As long as you keep swinging with Riot is Beating, that's really all you need is Riot is Beating plus Muck. Sometimes you want to look to set up the, I'm not even going to trade here. Sometimes you want to look to set up the Lycanroc to deal with the Coco, especially if their bench is full enough to be able to get off a GX attack for the knockout. Lucario can make it awkward for them to attack sometimes as well with the Coco GX. But yeah, this is what we're looking for. This is I gave how a game ideally plays out. He even got the KO on the Muck on the turn I set it up, so had the best shot that they could, but it wasn't quite good enough as we ended up taking it after reestablishing that Muck in that game. In the second game, and we have a amazing starting hand here. Literally the whole squad came out to play this game. Yeah, this is a incredible starting hand. Actually, pretty ridiculous. I don't think I've ever actually opened this well with this deck before. Alright, we're playing against the Lightning Box, or maybe just Pikarom with Zapdos. It's hard to tell sometimes for sure what their build is. It at least has Pikarom. That's all we know for sure. The rest is a mystery. Yeah, the rest is a mystery. All we know is they play Pikarom and Zapdos. And it could just be Pikarom plus Zapdos. It could be the whole Pikarom, Jolteon, Zoroark, Tapu Koko GX box deck going on. You never know. This one's got a Raikou going on. I have not seen that guy around in a while. Fighting to Ditto to make it become a what's it called? Riolu comes down. And then pass over to our opponent. I was hoping for another basic Zorua here. But oh well. It looks like it's going to be a whiff on that. Not the biggest of deals. Not the biggest of deals, that's for sure. We can get through just fine with how with the current board state. Can definitely get through. There's an attach to the Zapdos and then the Volkner, so our opponent is definitely going to be seeing a switch card here. Or yeah, Nest Ball for Zoroark, knock out our active Zorua. All right, I mean that's what I expected to have happen, and here it comes. We do have the counter gain, so we could actually just look for Lycanroc, knock this out with the GX attack. I think that's what I'm going to look for here. Just get ahead on the prize exchange, like very far ahead. Use the counter gain while we can as well. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna try and find the Mallow. Oh no, Mallow's prize. All right, Cynthia it is. Lycanrocs are in here. That's another important part, is that we have Lycanrocs. Okay, and I am actually gonna go ahead and extend into the second Rockruff here, because we do have both Lycanrocs in the deck. Alright, Lycanroc, no problem. Go ahead and trade away one of these, give ourselves the option of the Communication or the Ultra Ball on the next turn. Oh, I should have attached DCE there. I forgot to put the Fighting down at turn 1. I should have attached the DCE to the Zoroark for sure. That's a mistake. Well, actually it's not that big of a mistake, because I would almost like to be able to Claw Slash this next turn. So it's actually like not even that big of a deal. And then Dangerous Rogue, knock out. Triple prizes right off the bat here on this Pikarom. That's why this matchup is so favored. We have so many ways to aggressively just knock out Pikaroms. There's that Mallow. I guess I did not search my deck before I used the Lele, so did not have an opportunity to check my prizes, so that's fine. But yeah, that's why this matchup is just so good. Like, how do they, like, there's so many ways to just like kind of roll over the Pikaroms and it just starts to snowball from there, and then from there, who knows, it's done. That's game, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so tough for our opponent. I'm glad I'm getting to showcase this Pikarom game here. Really show, this is like the reason to play the Zoroark Lucario build, is the Pikarom matchup. There's really no other reason to play this build of Zoroark. Like, all the versions of Zoroark have their own ways to get advantage in the Zoroark mirrors. Lucario is not quite better than Weavile or playing straight Zoroark, because you play the other Lycanroc, you just have more Lycanrocs in general. So there's none of the versions of Zoroark, in my opinion, really have an advantage over any of the other builds. So like any version of Zoroark is about 50-50 against any other build of Zoroark. Did they get triple E power? Maybe. They put 2 down so far. So yeah, like I said, like, no real advantage over the mirror matches, in my opinion. I think the Zoroark mirror matches are all about even. They all have their own things that can give them advantage. Like I said, Weavile, the Lycanroc, straightforward version actually has its own advantages as well. But yeah, one thing you do get by playing this build of the Zoroark is you get to beat up on Pikarom, and we're actually just going to win the game right here. We're about to ace a roll of this, and then Lucario knock out that Pikarom to close out the game here. We probably would have closed this one out pretty easily anyways on killing this and then KOing a Zapdos or something from there. But our opponent went ahead and benched a Pikarom. So let's go ahead and just finish him off right here. I don't really like... It's not that big of a deal. I mean, like, you gotta... If you're gonna win this matchup, you're gonna have to use Pikarom at some point. So... benching it now, benching it later. Maybe it doesn't really make a difference, but we get to clean it up right now and then kind of close out the game. After that first swift Pikarom knockout, I think we were winning the game eventually. Anyways, just a matter of time, and that's going to go ahead and do it on this Zoroark Lucario video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links to my Twitch live stream and social media is in the description below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.